Evening, everyone. This is the regular meeting of the Rutland Town Select Board. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. We have tonight Select Board members Kurt Hathaway, Joe Denardo, Mary Ashcroft, and Matt Getty. And if you will all please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty. So we have the select board minutes for June 3rd. I think all of us who are here were there.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve.
Second.
And seconded. Any discussion, additions, deletions, corrections? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'll put ABS for Sharon. No one's opposed. Sharon's abstaining. And motion carries. We've seen the orders. I do believe we've all put pen to them. Is there a motion to approve? Motion's made to approve and seconded. Any discussions, comments? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Any board member announcements? Yeah, I think Matt gave out scholarships at Rutland High School.
Did do that.
Yes, which is nice. Thank you very much. And that takes, I think we have one more to go, and that's going to be sent because she's, it was sent. All right. Very, very good. All right. I don't have anything special. I will, one of the action items below, I'll ask if we can go into executive session for when we're close enough to it, but that's all I have. Are there any questions from the floor or public comments? There's no one here that isn't already on the agenda. There's no one lighting up a box on the Zoom meeting, so I will assume not. Okay. Let's go down to action item number 1. Howard Burgess for Fire District number 1. Thank you for coming in. Mostly we were curious about where the fire district is, and we're just nosy. Now, mind you, as a municipality, we don't have anything to do. You're a separate municipality, but I'm wondering where you are with the connection with West Rutland.
We're finally close, and we expect it should be done sometime this fall, that
Okay.
it will be done. We've what's left is it's a pressure reducing valve that needs to go in, and we got it all set to go. We've got a grant for it to do it. FW Webb is holding all the materials, the piping materials. A couple things that we're lacking is to get a right-of-way agreement squared away as to where it's going to go with the state highway.
Okay.
That it's going to be right away. And we still haven't got the construction permit approved from the state. Don't ask me why. They've had it for a month and a half, and we're not sure why. And they've known right along we've been going to do this, so it's going to happen. We have a very detailed agreement between the two municipalities, and that's all set. It's just a matter of getting that going. We've been several years working on this.
You have.
Talking with West Rutland, telling our users that it's coming, and we thought it would be done long before now, but finally it's
Good. It's close.
It's very close, and when we finally get the vault in and then polish off the agreement, West Rutland will take over, and they're going to provide us with water, and they're already getting our sewer.
Okay.
We've been sending that to them since around 2015. And and they'll be responsible for maintenance of the lines and everything around. They'll do billing the customers. They bill twice a year. We bill 4 times a year, the fire district quarterly, but they do it twice a year. And, finally, we should have some good phone numbers if somebody needs something. If there's a problem, an emergency or something, West Rutland has a staff that's on call and can go out and take care of things.
So the fire district is going to remain in existence?
No.
Okay.
We've got some land to get rid of, and just not sure what the state's going to make us do with our well and storage tank. First, the rumors are that they want you to just shut those right down. I mean, they would typically, I guess, like you to take us. It's a 203,000 gallon storage tank to demolish it and fill it in, and the well is generally fill them in with concrete, but once we get hooked up, we're going to be a fire district for a while, settling all the rest of this stuff. Okay. With the state, it's got to happen. But West Rutland's been very good about it. In fact, when you had that propane tank incident here, called Mary Ann Goulet, and she got right onto it. She said, "Tell us when you need the water. We got plenty of it." And they did. They came on board, and
good.
Well, noontime or so, our tank was getting down to. We have a 60 gallon per minute well, which was pumping constantly. But meanwhile, our tank was drawing down. I don't know how much water you guys were drawing out here, but it was enough. There was plenty of it. When we got down to, I don't know, it's getting down close to 8 feet. We brought West Rutland on, and they brought it back up for us. The beauty of this is you will never run out of water once we get connected up. Yeah. They won't need water from the city. It's a 12-inch water main that comes from West Rutland to here. And then we have 8-inch mains on the main streets here and everything. So, I mean, West Rutland's they've got the water.
Is this building on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
No. Yeah, it's
good.
That'll be a big change. And we've sent notices every time we send out bills or whatever, notifying the neighbors as to what's going on so that they know it's coming, and hopefully it'll be a smooth transition. And I said several or more years ago, I said, I got to get out of this thing. I've been on it since
I remember
forever. And it was time. I said, somebody's got to pick it up. And it's finally going to happen. So, but I have a couple of questions. The propane tank incident. I don't know who was responsible for that, but for that fire, for that tank.
Well, Bill's been kind of tracking that. He's been in touch with the League of Cities and Towns. It was our highway department guy who mowed into it.
Okay.
But there's some question about whether it was adequately marked. So, and it belonged to the railroad, and it was used to warm the switches. They've since taken it out, and they've moved to a electric or solar or something way of warming their switches. Hey, in the old days we used to chop out the switches with a. Never mind.
I remember when they put it in.
Yeah. Okay.
So
let's just say who's responsible for what is kind of up in the air.
Well, yeah, and we do have some expenses and we're going to get a bill from West Rutland for Seth's Patrica's time. He had 4 hours of overtime. Was here, and so and one of our guys
because of the propane incident.
Rob Del Bianco spent a good number of hours during the day. He was monitoring the tank, and he worked with Seth to get things going. So there are some, bills from the fire district that we should send someplace.
we'll start with sending them into Bill without us acknowledging any responsibility whatsoever. Of course, that's the lawyer thing, but let's get them all in and find out what the cost of this is, and we'll send them into the League of Cities and Towns, who's our insurer, and see what they want to do with them. Okay,
That's good. That's,
yeah,
I never knew what happened. So it's unfortunate. It was unfortunate to have that
yes.
or the way it did. And,
Okay, any questions for Howard and the fire district hook up to West Rutland's water to serve Flory Heights? Any questions?
all they've got is, they're just a valve between us. And what they did that day was open up that valve, and they have much more pressure than we do. That's why we need to put this pressure reducing vault in.
Mhm.
They've got so much pressure. So they were able to just fill our system in and bring the tank up overflow. I mean, just would overflow out of the tank once it's full, and it would, so we weren't adding additional pressure to our system, to the users here or anything, but once West Rutland gets on and we close off our storage tank and everything, the pressure has to be controlled, and they're gonna put this vault in, it's between Otter Creek and Simon's Avenue.
Okay,
Remember around, it was 2013 and when it was, we built an 8-inch water main that went to the fire station.
Okay.
And luckily that we did that, because now we're tied right into the system and it's
good.
good to go. So that's one last
Yep.
comment I want to make is it doesn't mean much to you, but if water hammering. And I've talked to Bill about it. We've had some incidents. The fire department, when they close a hydrant down, they don't close it down carefully and very slow. And some of the neighbors have called me and said, they said the pipes are rattling and banging and that's, can be pretty dangerous. It can break, it could cause damage. And the day that they were out here with the storage tank, it was probably when they were shutting down or something. There was a lot going on that day.
Hammering, you mean?
Hammering, yeah, it's
Okay.
very unusual, but the only thing I can say is put the word out that the fire department to be very cautious of that and train the firemen. If
Okay,
they just need to know that you just don't crank a hydrant down and that you gotta really shut it down slowly.
okay.
But other than that, we're fine.
Good. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Anything else for Howard? Appreciate it. I didn't want it to sound like you must appear and explain yourself, but I'm really glad you gave us an update. So good to know.
Good. And I
Okay.
haven't been back here in a while, so
Yeah.
it was okay.
Okay, great. Thanks.
A little bit.
All right, we'll get into our order of business. Dave Sears, welcome back from vacation.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Not a ton of stuff. Spent most of the last couple weeks working on the shared use path. We are just about ready to cut the ribbon.
Yay.
Um,
Are we really going to cut the ribbon?
no. Well, I don't know if you want to, you can, whatever. So we put a stormwater structure had to go in. I'm not really sure why we put a stormwater structure in a sand pit, but we did, because that's what the plan said. It'll probably never see water other than what falls through the grate, but
It's okay.
it's in. We got the top coat of gravel on the whole thing. I put together a bid for the fencing that goes in that went out today, actually. So that'll be, that's the last little piece of the puzzle, really. We had the South End Sewer pre-bid meeting last Wednesday, Thursday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, that's, yeah,
all the days run together.
if you say so. 2 bidders showed up for the pre-bid,
Okay.
but there were 5 other companies that had taken out plans. So a couple of them were up north, so they probably didn't make it down for the pre-bid or what. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And that's due back in on the 26th, I believe.
Okay.
We had a JP sidewalk meeting. It was utterly riveting. I don't know if the committee wants to discuss that or not, but
It was
At
just
length.
mostly all we did is talked about if we had any concerns about how the design is looking.
Okay.
And there really wasn't the right of way issues with that they're working on, just to make sure that stuff is, and, I don't know, there was not much. There's a couple of, new catch basins going in, and we have to decide we have to agree with the state who's gonna maintain those. And I think the only other thing was the agreement with the city. That's still out there to make sure, we have a maintenance agreement, because a portion of this new sidewalk is in the city. So, I think that's a lawyer thing for a couple of those, so.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, really the only thing that was a major issue was on the print that shows the state's right of way is kind of offset between the city and the town by 5 feet or 10
Yeah,
feet or
something
something.
like
It's
that.
not very much. So they think that's more of a GIS,
Could be.
something just isn't quite lined up when it gets there. And that's where I am.
All right. And highway?
No, we haven't had a meeting, I don't think so. The last meeting we had was to discuss the sewer. And since then, that's good. So I think we're all good.
Okay. Under action item E, we do have review draft updates to streets and sidewalks ordinance. It's with Kevin. Okay. I suspect he is off somewhere. I did put a call into him. Speaking of easements and culverts, about the town line road, where we are with the easement that the
to
folks
finish
were
that
in
up.
here. Yeah, and I did call him, and left a message, but he didn't return my call. And he always does unless he's, out of the office. So hopefully I'll have something next time we meet on that. Anything else for our highway, water and sewer commissioner? Note that mission creep.
I
there.
believe I've just been anointed something.
Only with water. Okay, thank you. Derek. Oh, wait, roadside mowing?
Oh yeah, first round is done.
Okay,
Mendon took the tractor today, so that'll be gone for a month or so, and then we'll go back and do round 2.
okay. Okay. Looking pretty good. I wish it were a little deeper. That's all.
Well, so this was the first pass, so we just did one width all the way, everything got one shot, 4 or 5 foot shot, and then the next pass will be a little bit wider and we'll start to get serious.
Yeah, I think you've got the poison parsnip down Creek Road, except it migrated over onto my land, so I'm mowing it there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just don't let it go to seed.
That's why I'm out there. That stuff is nasty, nasty.
I weed whacked some the other day.
Yeah, did you get blisters?
I got the blisters to show it.
Had them. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
You too. Ed Dumas, Town Police Chief. Former goat owner.
We don't have a lot tonight. We did, Ted did get hold of, McGovern's, and our car that just the technician's got a car work on, we should work on ours next week, hopefully, and then next week we've got, that's the hope.
Okay. They'll get to it next week.
We should get it by the end of
Oh, we should get it.
Yes.
Okay. With.
Okay.
They told me at 4:30, there's one car that they're currently working on. Ours is next up. So Monday or Tuesday, they will get it in.
Okay.
Okay.
I would dare say, give it a week for
Okay.
install.
Okay.
So maybe a week and a half.
Does that include detailing? Okay.
So that is all the lights, the sirens, the prisoner partition, all the equipment. And then when it comes back here, we use Awesome Graphics to do the graphic work to it.
Okay. All right. Close. We're close.
Close.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have any other really information at this point in time, other than the fact I see you having the list to vote on the carryover of the Cortina
Cortina, yes.
and the update on the police committee meeting. That was about it.
All right, so police committee meeting, because we did it just before the last select board meeting. I think we pretty much covered everything then, but we do need to vote tonight on the Cortina settlement funds. Matt, anything from the police committee meeting that we want to let the rest of the board know about?
We already talked about it all.
I think we pretty much did. Okay, well, unless you have questions. All right. So, Cortina Settlement Fund, we have traditionally kept separate so it doesn't go into the Capital Improvements Fund, and we've done that on purpose so that we can use it for police purposes directly related to the housing voucher program and
I know we do
related.
this, we do this every year, but because those aren't tax dollars and aren't part of the budget, wouldn't they stand alone separately anyway?
They may.
I don't know, but I'll move that we carry the remaining police Cortina fund budget for next year.
Into their own separate fund, right?
Yep.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to continue to keep the Cortina settlement funds in its own separate fund. Is there further discussion? And we'll know a little bit after we settle everything, how much is in there, but there is,
You guys aren't using them as much now as you were.
no.
No.
We did, if you'll remember in the budget, appropriated $150,000 from the Cortina fund to cover police general,
Yeah.
to cover the police budget. We didn't earmark it for anything.
Yes.
So motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor of carrying over the Cortina settlement funds in its own account, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't go crazy.
Nope. No. The other thing is, I think you see the thing though to pay for the APIS machine is in your paperwork this time. So-
Okay.
So that will
It
be
is.
on this year's budget.
Okay, very good. That's what we had asked to do. I think we voted on that last meeting. Yeah. Okay.
So
And-
one thing with the new building and you guys
Oh,
have more
right.
space and stuff, probably need to talk about some kind of cleaning staff, something. So I don't know what's involved cleaning, the fire department has been in existence since 67.
Yep.
They clean their own house. They've always have and they're okay.
But
But you guys are a little different, so I don't know if you want to do your own housework or if we should hire some.
right now, I say we, certain woman who works with us has taken on that.
Right, and that's my point is I don't think that certain person should be doing it all or any of it really.
I don't disagree.
So I don't know what is traditionally appropriate for a police station.
Usually you have to get somebody we have to be there when they do it.
Okay.
I think we have to pass a certain
Yeah, we have
test.
to do, well, it's not so much a test, it's they have.
It's
to
the
pass-
NCIC, got to roll their fingerprints, there's a certain way we
Yeah.
do it, make sure there's no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, do you know if there are services out there that do that? You guys could look into. We didn't budget anything in your budget or the building budget for that particular service, but
I guess we could look into it.
Okay, I don't really have an objection to Lynette, but I don't want her doing it added onto her time and tripping over time. Cause that's not really, that's not what we really want her there for. She's very talented in other ways. Yes.
I know, and that's just one of those little things we weren't,
Yep.
this is new. The little closet you had, that was easy to keep clean.
It was.
Now you got a real building and a real space and so it's gonna take a little more doing.
Enough open carpet to get the vacuum around anyway.
There really isn't. I was just looking.
And I don't know how other police departments, how they handle.
Well, there is a fuel and maintenance, but it's kind of under equipment. So I guess we can't stretch it.
Well, there was a building maintenance in general for the building.
That's right.
So I don't know, like I say,
Oh, it's,
once we figure out, you know, some of these things, so what comes November and we start doing budgets,
Yeah,
because they're gonna be cleaning that portion of the building, it'll probably end up in your budget for custodial
Yep.
services.
Yep.
But,
so we did, I mean, it is, but it's called town hall maintenance. So,
right, I mean, that, we have it here for this.
yes, we
building,
do, but we didn't decrease it in anticipation.
but How much we leave?
40,000.
That's in the current budget, though.
That's in the current
new
budget.
budget.
Oh, the new
The
budget.
new budget's less.
All right, maybe I should get the new,
It should be less.
all right.
What we broke up.
We did have, so the cleaning service that does here has added on the one additional room they did not do before. It changed our cost by $15.
Okay,
And that comes out of it, but because we have a public safety building maintenance.
all right, yes. We did. Town hall maintenance went from 40,000 down to 25,000.
Because we're not crowding the remodeling downstairs right now.
Right.
So we're gonna need
And
to
police-
have a line item added to the police budget for, like I said, custodial services.
Yep.
And you're gonna have other expenses that you didn't have. You're gonna have bathroom supplies, you're gonna have paper towel, things that you, so once you get a kind of
Yeah.
a feel for what you're spending,
Accounted for that.
Huh?
We've accounted for that.
where,
They just come and take it from here, right?
No, it's in the building. We ordered custodial cases of those supplies under building maintenance. So
Okay.
It doesn't matter who needs it, it's there.
Oh, okay, all
okay,
right,
all right.
Already-
thank you.
So some of that, well,
Hand
that's
soap,
good.
paper towels, that kind of stuff. We ordered it in industrial cases. We
All right.
got
Got a
that-
deal.
we got
You
that
know,
part
there's just a
under
few growing pains to having a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the town's never had a police station, never had a facility to maintain, so now there'll be some things we'll figure
Who's
out.
gonna mow the lawns?
control. We have a contract for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
We'd already do.
Ah.
It's already.
Including the
this year.
slope?
And actually he emailed today asking when we want him to start, and I don't think we're ready for that yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
He'll wait till the spring,
All right.
that ground cloth, the stabilizing cloth. So he is ready when we are.
Okay.
Perfect.
I don't know how that worked for that mat they put down, how long you have to wait. Because I envision that going with, you know, wrapped around the blades of the mower is what I.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what they put down for a mat.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
The bank stuff is,
Is it the biodegradable or do we have to pull it all up?
I don't
I
know.
hope it's,
But those are
Upper
questions
half,
that
I
all,
think, is, you gotta pull it up. I looks at it.
Because if it's plastic, you gotta pull it up.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the bank is plastic.
Thanks.
The bank I would leave though,
It's
I wouldn't
different.
touch the bank.
Yeah, the bank you'd leave.
But the rest of that looked like, to me, it looked like some kind of woven straw mat or something.
Yeah, but there's the straw's gone. There's a plastic mesh that's left.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't think it'd be hard to pull it up.
no, it's just a
Tripping
nuisance.
on them. About tempted to rip it up myself.
Okay,
Joe, do you want to get hold of Fabian's and ask them what they use?
I'll look into that. I'll
Okay,
look into
good.
what the maintenance is on where they put the mat down.
I mean, there's both. There's biodegradable mat and there's plastic. It depends on what they used.
Yeah, the bank's a little different material. So,
Yeah, that was like almost like a carpet.
yeah, that looks like it's growing up nice.
okay, good.
That's how I have.
All right,
Haven't had to use your impound yard yet.
anything else for our police chief or deputy chief? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike.
Okay, is Larry Del Veneri on? Oh, wait, Mike Rowe is not here. Barbara Noyes Pulling is not here. Larry is not here. Marcia is here. Marcia Chioffi, town lister's office, town head lister.
Hi, everyone.
And-
Yes, I am here.
Hi, Marcia. Yes, you are.
Well, we've had some pretty busy couple of weeks here. We're getting ready to lodge the grand list. The date is set for Monday at 2:00 here in the town offices. We did finally get our utility values from the state. I never got them until Saturday, actually. And we've been working on them and working with our district advisor. In fact, Christy Wright came in on Wednesday, and I had been speaking with Kari Williams, our state senator, who is the vice chairman of Energy and Natural Resources. And he was very interested in coming in to listen to how we apply these rates and how everything is done. So Christy was very happy that someone from the state actually took some time to understand what is going on and how these values were actually reached. The town actually fared quite well. I don't want to give you the final numbers yet, but let's just say that we're in a very good position. Unlike many other towns who have lost values, we've actually gained. And that's mainly because both Velco and GMP are the hub. So we were very fortunate to get the increases that we did.
Marcia,
Yeah.
can I
Marcia,
ask a question on that?
yeah, Matt's got a question.
Oh, so does that mean that those headquarters properties then were valued differently than other utility assets?
Yes, they
that
were.
Now allocated. Okay, so basically we get to keep that and other stuff got allocated elsewhere.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And the value in the op center for Velco increased significantly. So that was good news. Unlike the threads that we've been reading on the CompServe, the listserv, people are really upset, losing millions basically. So we're fortunate, and hopefully next meeting I'll be able to give you the raw data and tell you exactly how much more our values have increased.
Okay, good. And thank you for tracking down the withdrawal of my barn from current use.
Yes, I had talked to Christy about that last week also. And what we didn't know is because there is no penalty involved with your withdrawal of your barn, current use doesn't always notify us. So not knowing that, I hadn't gone into EQs or my VTAX to find out if anything was there. So that's all done. So you'll be getting your change of appraisal on removal of that barn.
Thanks. I'm not selling it, people. I just wasn't using, no farmer was using it anymore, so I couldn't keep it in current use, just so you know.
Yep.
Okay, now, Marcia, we have a couple of, calling on your expertise here, a couple of notices to taxpayer from West Rutland of those 2 parcels of property that the town owns over there. Have you seen those at all? And should
I have not.
do we need to do, it looks like current use allocation, that's what it is. Last year, let's see, current use, trying to, 1 parcel, they're both landlocked, I think. Yeah. Exemption reduction. No, that's okay. We have it here. Well,
Okay.
and it really doesn't affect you because it's in West Rutland, but we thought we'd, it went from exemption reduction of 24,800 last year, up to 25,100. So we got a little greater exemption. That's fine.
Sounds like a good issue to have.
And the other, and the other property went from 26,000 even up to 26,300. So they went in the right direction, both of them.
Okay.
I'll give her copies.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's all. We just wanted to.
Yeah, thank
We
you.
own West Rutland.
We do have current use, that are in, two towns. One being with, Rutland Town in West Rutland, and then another one with, Rutland Town in North Clarendon. But, I haven't seen anything come through with anything on either one of those properties.
Okay. Okay.
And, you obviously saw the letter from PV&R, which we were anticipating.
Yes.
And in anticipation of that, we did send out our preliminary request for bid. As I told you a couple of weeks ago, we got nothing. Once we've lodged the grand list and gotten through our grievances, we are going to get on the phone. We're going to call every one of our vendors, speak with them, find out hopefully the reason why there was no bid and what can we do going forward.
Marcia, there was stuck in my mind, there was a deadline of 30 days during which the town had to respond with a plan.
Yeah, I responded with, well, not with the plan. We don't have to have the plan in until October 29th. All we had to do is acknowledge receipt of the order to reappraise.
Okay.
That was it.
All right.
And that's what you signed, Mary.
Yes.
The last
meeting.
board meeting. Yep.
I did sign acknowledgement. Okay, so as long as you're on top of those deadlines, that's very good.
Tomorrow, Jill Remick, our PVR director, is having a webinar from 10:30 until noon on our legislative update, which I imagine is going to take hold of the H-454 to find out what is happening with that, because as you know, reappraisal has been rolled into the education bill.
Okay.
So we'll find out, and hopefully I can come back with a report on that.
Okay.
So other than that,
All right. So the grand list will be lodged in time, so you don't need another extension.
No, Monday is when we're lodging it, and grievances. Okay. I'll get all the notices out and notice of the special meeting to actually lodge the grand list out. I'm gonna hand those out tomorrow, put those up, and grievances are set for July 7th, and notices will be out for that.
Okay, very good. And the warning for the meeting is your listers meeting, nothing to do with us, right?
No, it's a special meeting for lodging of the grand list. Yep. So.
Okay, any questions for Marcia or the listers? No, guess not.
Good.
Thank you, Marcia.
Right.
Thank
all right.
the rest of the folks too, please.
All right. You want? Good night.
Good night.
What I ask is, has the town ever considered selling those two parcels? Or I know we've had them for, I don't know how we got them, but because West Rutland and Rutland Town were always at one point around one year. Yeah.
I think I have a copy of the land records, and they are not new.
No, I know that we've had it,
I think it goes back
but
to
I'm
church
just
land.
curious
I think it goes
if,
back to
you know,
church land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be church. Could be.
I mean, do we have the ability to sell those if we wanted?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
I think
I know we've had them logged a few times.
Yeah,
but-
right, exactly.
but, you know,
Fred Nicholson had done a current use, a log, or, forestry management plan. And we have had them logged, so.
It's getting close to, in one section, it's getting close to needing it again,
Oh, okay.
right?
have to look at that 10-year plan.
Yeah.
Yes. I gotta look
Should
at
probably
mine.
find an active forester to,
The state
Man.
building for us.
has state been managing. All right,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
For some reason, at first they said they wouldn't do it, then they said they would for municipalities. Yeah. Okay, it was just a thought.
Alrighty. All right, next, Chris Clark, Town Fire Chief.
Good
Hey,
evening,
Chris.
everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah.
we
Oh,
can.
perfect. Nobody answered my good evening, so I thought I was alone.
Good evening.
Um, I just got back. I just got back from Florida 4 days ago, so I don't have too much to report. If you have any questions, I know the guys went to town hall for that gas leak, and I'll put in our training schedule to teach them how to run a fire hydrant.
Okay,
Um,
good, thank you.
Don't lose any sleep over it.
no, I won't.
Hey,
But
well, I've hammered my pipes in my house, so I know what this is, and it's a nuisance, so, yeah,
It does happen.
Yeah.
It is a thing, but
it is a thing.
There's a lot of history there.
really have nothing to report. I was hoping you four would do a quick vote tonight for us.
I think if we looked at action item F, discuss the purchase of a cascade system for the fire department. Was that what you had in mind?
It is.
Okay. So we have 13,500 in donations. We have we don't have the number, but we do have a surplus of some amount. Do you know what the number might be for the fire budget unused?
I don't know the exact one. I'm gonna say 30,000.
Okay.
But I don't know the exact number.
That was roughly what we were talking about in the fire committee meeting.
Right.
And then balance, and I believe, what did I do with the
You're gonna need about 44 more,
80, was it 40,
42 or
88,000?
Yeah,
There-
the newest price I emailed to you, I think it went
Yes,
up like
you did.
$1,000, so it was like 88 something. And I do have like 13,500 and
Yep.
what we got donated to us.
I thought I had that number.
So,
Would we
and we
just,
don't have it in the,
so would we just be better to just approve the, balance? The amount of the purchase, less the donations and the balance to come from the capital improvement, instead of trying to take it from two or three places, take part of it from Chris's budget and then, because his budget's just gonna roll into the capital improvement, so it'll be there anyway. It's the same.
it is the same. And we could do it either way. I don't really care. I think the fire committee we were trying to show you where the money was coming from a little better, so it wouldn't look like we were pulling down the capital.
Right, we're gonna basically,
Yeah.
we'd be putting his balance along with others into the capital and then take it. I was just trying to wonder if that would be a little easier for Kari to follow the money. You got a little puddle here and a little, well, I'm thinking back to the public safety building where we had all these little piles of money,
Yes, we
little
did.
pockets of money, and it was very difficult to how we spent them. So I just thought it would be neater if we just take it from
Oh,
the
it was
capital.
easy to spend. It was
It's
harder to
it's the
track.
tracking.
Yeah.
It's easier to track if we
Well,
just.
Kari's on. So Kari, does it matter for bookkeeping purposes or for the auditor's purpose how we do this money for the purchase of the cascade system?
So essentially, all you're asking is, if it goes over to capital improvements, are we able to pay for it? Is that what you're asking?
No, we're asking, is it better to say we're going to take any surplus in the fire budget for this year, add to that the 13,500 in donations, and then take the rest out of the existing capital improvements, which I think we have to do this fiscal year.
Really know what the surplus is gonna be though, Toe.
It's true, we don't.
So
We don't.
it just means you're gonna wait until the next fiscal year, which,
We don't want to do.
well, what difference does it
It
make?
doesn't make any difference.
it's gonna get paid in the next fiscal year anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
we'll
actually know what the
yes.
number is.
So
probably.
at this
So,
point,
so I think, Kari, my question was, would it be easier for you to track if we took the 13,500 in donations and then the remainder just from the capital improvement account and let the fire department surplus just go into the capital improvement? So you're not taking it from three locations. Would
Yeah.
that be easy?
Yeah. But it would
Okay.
essentially be earmarked for the fire station, yeah, but it would be
Yeah.
in the capital improvements and we can just pay it out of that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do we have any ballpark of how much our capital improvement account is likely to be at the end of the fiscal year?
No, we still have 2 weeks of revenue. This is the last payroll, but I didn't do the estimate because we're still anticipating certain things, so I'll have the better numbers for you next time.
But we did have an overage in the 1% tax. So we know there's going to be excess money going into capital improvement from that, correct?
We did have overage in that, yes.
Yeah.
So
Don't know
the
how
other,
much.
the other income carry that, excuse me, that we have in the general account that would be affected by the 1% would be like interest and, the delinquent taxes. And we estimate a certain amount for those lines of income.
Mhm.
Do you know if we're pretty close to what we anticipated or if we've come up short? Because if we come up short in 2 or 3 of those other lines, then you will need a little more of the 1% money to offset that shortage. So I didn't know if you knew where those were.
No, I don't know where those stand right now.
Okay.
So is there any reason why this can't wait until after the end of the fiscal year when we actually have a number?
Let's just get it ordered and get it coming.
I think that's
Yeah.
my preference. And there was a quote and there was a deadline on the quote, but
Friday,
this,
the
okay.
20th.
Okay, you do have it in front of you. Thank you.
Somebody found that.
Somebody slipped it in their
This
desk.
is, so you can, why don't you make the motion since you've got it in
So
front of you?
I move that we purchase a Cascade system for $88,584.40 to come from the capital improvement fund and 13,000 in donations.
Okay,
Or whatever that number was.
Yeah.
13 something.
five, I think.
Yeah,
And who are we purchasing from?
it's Reynolds,
Okay, all
which
right.
is a preferred vendor.
Motion's made. Is there a
Second.
second? Motion's made and seconded. Discussion.
And we beat this to death already.
Well,
It's mostly just with the money.
possible we've beaten it
Yeah,
to death.
the money.
By the time we get the invoice, it's gonna be next fiscal year
It
and
will, but at least we'll hit their quote.
I know it was more than $100,000 and 1% overage.
Yes,
So we have that covered, plus the 30,000 from the fire department's
Yeah.
budget, so we'll have it.
And there may be, and so because that is all the other budgets, any other monies from the other budgets except for highway
Yeah.
would be going in there. So we should be good. I'm good.
okay.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of purchasing the Cascade system, please say aye.
I,
Right.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. All right. Anything else, Chris, or for Chris, our town fire chief?
I just have a question.
Yep.
Just curious of the fire pump panel. Just, whenever it gets here, but if I could coordinate for the electrician to do both jobs at once, it might save us a couple bucks, but I'm sure the
I'll
Cascade
try to-
will be here for a while, but
all right, I'll try to find out from VMS. I haven't checked in with them. They said 6 weeks, but I think we're at the end of the 6 weeks, so I'll try to find out tomorrow.
okay, perfect. And I know, the lock guy came and put our new locks on, so we're all set there, and I think we're all good. As soon as the Cascade and fire pump are all done, I think we'll be 100% complete.
Good. I am going to try to talk with
Okay.
VMS about the sign out front and see if we can come up with some ideas. So there's going to be another expense there at some point to rectify that lighting issue. And I did have a question for you, Chris. Excuse me, the call to Diamond Run for the large fire in the woods. Anything come of that or?
We actually went there again since I've been home. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. But
It was Sunday night, 'cause
yeah, they also went up there, same exact spot when I was away. But there's actually I don't know if it's a whole family or a couple kids and a mother or whatever, but I'm pretty sure they're living in their car up kind of in the woods behind the old Sears Automotive. And they just had
okay.
a tiny little campfire. She was cooking hamburger, hot dogs or something.
Yeah.
Well, it
Okay.
was no
Well,
big
that's-
fire in the woods, but you know, somebody.
Yeah, I was, well, because if it was a wildland fire, I was gonna have to come and join you, and I was making arrangements for somebody to come to the house, and then you were leaving already, so that was good to hear.
Yeah, nothing.
All right.
Any idea when they're starting to dig or block off the road up there? I mean, there's a
Well,
ton
no,
of garbage
because-
up there now, and obviously
I
people
know.
living, but
Well, we've done our part on the town. Bill has sent in the municipal questionnaire. Our part's done. But now the district commission has to review the application for the amendment, make sure everything is in order, and then warn it, I think 30 days or 15 days to see if anybody wants to do a hearing, which we shouldn't have to do because we know they came in and talked with us.
right.
So there's a bit of a process yet. So it's probably going to be a month or so anyway before they get their permit amendment, if not longer. And they can't really start anything other than cleanup of the trash. They can't
Right.
start like putting in the fence or tearing down buildings until they get the permit amendment in hand.
All right. I was just curious.
Did you think, we went to the old mall in different places so you guys could train with like cutting holes in roofs and stuff. Anything that you might want to see if they'd let you do like on a weekend before they actually start destroying that, or?
Well,
Not
I
really.
thought about it 'cause I remember when we did go to the old mall. Of course, back then there wasn't needles and everything everywhere, so I don't know how I feel about crawling around inside that place. But I've never been in there since it closed, so I don't even know what it looks like. But I can't imagine looks the same as it used to. But I can definitely ask because it would be good training. I just don't want anybody to get hurt or sick from anything.
Yeah, because I remember the last time we invited all your mutual aid partners and took time going up there and worked together and do some of that. So, if Belden and the owner were agreeable, you guys might be able to have that for a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. We can invite everybody like we did back then and do some good stuff.
Okay. I just thought I'd ask,
All right.
if you start now, maybe by the time the state allows them to tear it down, you'll have a plan in place.
Yeah. All right. I'll have my guy look into that for me. Really do that?
Nope. Broke up for a second.
All right.
That's all I
Okay,
got.
anything else? That's it. And I think that's it from our end. Chris, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Kari Clark, Town Clerk and Treasurer.
Well, since I talked earlier, I really don't have anything else because that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I was just gonna, say that this was the last AP and payroll for our fiscal year, but I didn't want to get you numbers until the revenue, Mike's revenue and such that's still coming in. We still have 2 weeks, so I'll have all the final numbers for you next time. But that's all I
Sounds
have.
good.
Not much is going on right now. Summertime June in particular is usually slow, so.
Like it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions for Kari? Okay, thanks very much, Kari.
You're welcome.
Mike Delehanty is not present. Joe Denardo, Public Safety Building Clerk.
So, at this point, I do not have an update, as I mentioned, but I will check with the MS tomorrow and see where we are with the transfer switch. And there was some work in the police, one of the bays they were supposed to do. So
Right.
I will follow up on that.
Okay, that's the drainage thingy?
Yep.
Okay. All right, good, thank you.
Yep.
All right, any questions for our public safety building clerk of the works? John Paul Faignant, Town Hall Health Officer and Second Constable, not on. Bill Sweet, Town Administrator. Welcome, Bill. Don't even look at that. You'll jinx it.
Nope, look at it.
Nope.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Looks like some good things to report too. So we have just a couple things left in the packet. We're in good shape. Nothing on your desk.
Well.
And you have two things in the packet that's left. One is under action item, it's letter D, is the annual contract for generator maintenance. And this one includes the new generator as well. And we have, so what they have a couple of options on here, and it'd be 49.90. No, that's not right. They have plan 2 for all the generators, and they have the detail on that third page for plan 2. So there's if you see, like, there's 4 boxes at the end. There's plan 1 prepaid, plan 2 and plan 2 prepaid. Thought I had the total there, but I guess the total is not there.
Well, yeah, I mean, pricing for plan 1 on everything except 1612 Post Road, which has plan 2.
Yep. Is 5260 or 4996 prepaid. So that's what we usually do is that
2 years.
Yeah.
Prepaid.
Well, it's plan 2, which is 2 maintenance trips.
Okay.
So that's, so this first column is showing, well, I guess I don't follow. Where does this indicate which plan each one is on?
We can pick.
Oh, just down here in the footnote.
We can pick and choose. We usually do we've done plan 2 so what they're saying is there on the blue line is the 5260 or 4996 is plan 1 pricing for everything except for the school. So a once a year trip for everything except for the school, which is a twice a year trip, which we need. So the only other thing we could change if you wanted to would be to have the new one service twice a year, but I don't know if we need to this year.
No.
So that would be $49.96 for a single visit for everything except for the school would get an additional one.
So is that what we usually do?
That's what we've done in the past. And but we're adding the new one this year.
Right.
Do we have the money in the generator?
Oh yeah, this is yeah. We
Move to approve and authorize medicine.
Okay.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the 2-year contract with Brookfield Service, total amount of $49.96 for our generator maintenance, authorizing the chair to sign on behalf of the board. Is there detailed discussion?
Bill, do you know if they have the ability to load test?
I've talked to one of the technicians and he says that they do.
They do.
Oh.
Okay. And that's probably going to come at an additional charge, but
I
It's
think
not part of the bid.
no, I don't think we need to do it this year,
Yeah, no.
but the next contract.
no. Program one includes a generator building load test.
Okay,
Okay, good,
That is part of it.
good.
for all the generators or for,
For all of them. Yeah, that's part of the basic
Okay.
program is a load test. So
okay. Because
they have the specs on it. They are aware of
it's enormous.
what it
See,
is. They are,
you know, the school, we don't have to worry about because the school power goes out up there enough. So that one runs.
itself.
Yeah, that one runs 2 or 3
it has
times
gone
a-
out and nobody's even noticed.
Yeah.
So
And the
Wow.
school also has enough load to load test.
Right,
it.
that absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I said,
We
They're the
have a-
same, they're both, they're the same size generator.
yes,
One at the school and one at the fire station. They're
Really?
They're
Yeah.
same size.
yeah, the same size.
Wow.
Yeah.
fire stations do a bigger fuel tank. That's why.
Yeah,
It's,
the
Oh,
only reason
that's
that
what
one
it
looked
is,
like it's
okay.
a different fuel tank because,
We haven't voted on this yet, you know,
okay,
Aye.
or we're still under discussion.
right.
Okay.
Discussing how-
All in favor of the motion for a 2-year contract at 49 96 prepaid, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries and I'm signing.
All right. The other one is the copy of the municipal impact questionnaire that was sent along back to them.
Yep. I wanted you folks to see what we,
Because we have the transfer station, that's why we mark yes for the solid waste disposal.
Right.
Okay.
because
I was thinking we don't
It's not going to have any impact, but we can.
We don't
provide
have
service.
any solid waste pickup, like no municipal refuse service, which is how I always interpreted that. But anyway.
Okay.
I did email every social service agency that got an appropriation about coming to townwide celebration.
Oh, yeah, good. Thank you.
I have 3 that are coming for sure. A couple that are trying to find staff that can make sure they cover it, and some I'm waiting to hear back on. But we've got several so far. I did have a group that has a ice cream business reach out and ask if we wanted them to come to the event and to basically sell ice cream. And I talked to Mike about it, and we said, we've done this we had somebody in the past, but they did it as a donation to the town.
Right.
And they came back and said, we would be willing to do it as a donation to the town this year.
Really?
So we have a vendor who is going to come up and provide ice cream at no charge.
They realize how much that's going to be.
They understand.
Wow.
So
we should inquire of them if we can make a donation to their charity, or if they're okay with us donating again to Foley Cancer
we can
Center.
talk about that. Yep.
All right, why don't you just sound them out? But that's still
Yep.
really good.
On that same topic, the rising 8th grade class will have a little bit of fundraising to do.
Okay.
Though they're not doing DC, they're going to do some other stuff. So I think you could get a group together again if you want to do that. I think
were
it's
good.
been really helpful on the food line in the past, at least.
Yeah.
I also have Efficiency Vermont is almost certainly coming. And the Sheriff's Department is coming.
The library, I think, is
Well, Randall's on vacation, so he hasn't confirmed
He
it
has,
yet, but
yeah.
I'm almost sure he is coming.
pretty
But
sure.
and yeah, so the other ones I'm just waiting for. Some of the other ones haven't gotten back to me yet, but some of them are trying to get people, but they're in good shape.
covered.
So
Okay.
Yep. So there's been some good conversation back and forth with them, and yeah, that's in good shape. I think that was
Good.
everything else I had for. Yep, that's everything. That's all my topics.
Right. So that cover, any questions for Bill?
No, but I want to thank him for the efforts to get this lock thing
Oof.
changed here, fire station. Are Dave's done? Or not
They're
yet?
not, but they were not the priority. So they.
No,
they-
I know.
They're
So we're 2 left.
they are scheduled, but they're not scheduled, but they're gonna be done pretty soon. Yeah. So I was
Perfect. I
but we
appreciate
got the
it.
ones done that we really wanted to get done. So that's that, and it's working very well.
Okay, just looking at our action items, we've done A, B, C, D, E. We're waiting on Kevin for the street and sidewalk ordinance update. F, we've approved. G, because this involves town property, I would like to go into executive session, a brief executive session to discuss alternatives.
So move.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Is there, before we do and vote on it, is there anything else that we need to do? Okay. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to go into discussion to discuss an offer and options to purchase town property. All in favor, please say aye.
All right.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all.
Back
We're
on.
back on the record. As a result of executive session, there's no action taken. Is there a motion otherwise?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries for zip. Have a good evening.